Cosmos Health said Tuesday it expects to exceed $180 million in gross annual revenue. CEO Greg Siokas said, "It's important to mention that our projections do not include the potential upside from any future R&D products or various tech projects, including ZipDoctor." Welcome back to the channel. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol COSM. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. Let's go ahead and dive in straight into COSM on the 5-day chart right here, team. So very impressive day. In fact, let's just go ahead and take a look at that volume, man. Today's volume led to 41.72 million. That is one incredible event, I must admit myself. Oh my goodness. So you heard the news, right? It looks like COSM is trying to come back on track. It looks like they want to gain their shareholder confidence one more time. So let's go ahead and see what the company has to offer, right? So let's see what's up here. Let's move on to the next chart and see what we have. So I want to show you that initially that pump to the upside that we got was also part due to the index, right? The iShares Russell 2000 ETF spot price action, and the Russell 2000 Index Futures, right? So the E-minis. So I want you to notice here that quick pump to the upside and then in a retracement, right? So of course it looks like the index pressured that gain to the upside ever so slightly right here, right? So I mean, this was a massive range that ended up happening. So upon the opening of the asset, right, which could have been at that was already an enormous gap up at 126. After it closed at 99. I mean, that is a huge gap, right? So it ended up moving initially around a 26.63% move to the upside from its opening, though, okay? But if we're measuring it from the close on Monday, take a look at this. At one point, this asset moved up 60%. Massive gain. That is an enormous upside. So I feel like this type of volatility can absolutely flash our momentum and could still suggest an upside continuation here. So let's go ahead and observe the ARQ DBSI, which is part of the algos that we actually just released for the TradingView software, right? So if you are trading within TradingView, then this would be the indicators for you that we just released. In the introduction, you'll see the email, the ARQ indicators at gmail.com, right? So, but if you don't have a TradingView, please go ahead and refer to the description below where you will find my affiliate link there. Please go ahead and click on that, and as it will help with with my trading future. So this indicator actually measures the candles closing upside of the EMA 13 represented by this white line versus the candles closing below the EMA 13, and that gives us statistical representation of relative strength, right? So please go ahead and notice here that the bulls are leading the 30-minute time frame at 74% versus the bears at 26%. Let's just go ahead and move on to the hourly time frame. Take a look at that. 72 to 28 bears, looking very incredible here. Upper time frame still looking very good. 64% versus 36 bears. As we move up the time frames, that's when it starts to even out, right? But it's very curious here. This is what was most curious about the situation here. Upon the closure of this bi-hourly candle, we got a buy signal here from the ARQ DBSI. So that led from 116 to eventually touching down at 159, and it still hasn't given us a sell signal. The sell signal would be represented by this by the pink dot, right? The blue one would be your go. And let's just go up to the 4-hour time frame and see what we have. 4-hour time frame, look at that. Impressive 86% strength over the 14% bears. That is absolutely suggesting a very nice continuation to the upside. These X's presented here mean that there could be a little bit of consolidation before a continuation to that upside. So it's looking very good for the asset, at least within the DBSI algorithm, right? So, and yeah, so look at this. I wanted to show you this, that there's not even any type of hiding here. This is the ARQ composure algorithm that is able to identify manipulation in the markets. When it does identify manipulation in the markets, it will print a yellow X. And you can see here that just, let's see, 2 days ago, we printed that X at the opening of this candle at 116 before the asset capitulating all the way to 98.69. So that's usually what happens when we get manipulation. Please notice here how heavily manipulated the asset has been lately. Huge manipulation signal back here, and then enormous dump. As soon as it started to slow down the dump, the candle started getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Another hit followed by another, and another for a huge capitulation all the way down to $1.11 from the first signal fired at $2.60. So if we were following the composure algo, the moment that we started getting this manipulation signal, that could have been our exit. That could have been our risk off for a potential dump here in the markets, right? But yeah, it looks like this asset has been manipulated very, very heavily, right? So yes, it is. What you're observing here is actually a proprietary concoction over how we're able to determine manipulation in the market, right? So now let's go ahead and look at the bi-hourly time frame to see if we can catch any type of manipulation signals within the immediate short-term time frame, and that could actually indicate a potential answer for what's to come in the next day or so, right? So far I'm not noticing anything here. Actually, wow, the 15-minute time frame. Take a look at that from just yesterday. Massive manipulation yesterday on these ladder downs, almost perfect. Then we get the last manipulation signal here to stop this downside and have it just reaccumulate here. This alone right here, that last manipulation signal makes me feel that somebody knew something, and that was already set to just finalize the downside here, scare some people out, and then this thing would just rip to the upside, right? So very, very interesting. That's immediate short term. Let's look at the 10-minute. 10-minute time frame, also getting a little manipulation signal here into the after hours trading from yesterday. Okay, let's see the 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame also getting manipulation signals down here. That's terrible. So we can get into odd time frames, into weird time frames, right? The 4-minute time frame. Let's see if we have anything there that would be relevant for us to look at. Nothing there. And trust me when I say that, when we're streaming live, I often get the requests from the team to start looking at potential manipulation signals from our favorite assets, that can signal for us to signal risk off and potentially pull from the positions that we have, right? That could be at risk here. So, yeah, within the buy minute, nothing there for us to observe. This is the 1-minute time frame here. Nothing for the manipulation signals. And then, you know what? I've even noticed that within the 30-second intervals, there has been some reads that would show manipulation in the market, and we actually noticed that, and I think it was GNS that we noticed it today. It was very, very interesting to see that within the 30-second and 15-second intervals, right? So in this case, notice that yes, we did get a little manipulation during today's trading. So after the asset made this huge pump to the upside at 159, it started capitulating, right? Started falling. And right over here, it looks like we were set to correct from this point, but in fact, this manipulation signal came in with a huge dump, followed by another dump, and then started just this slow decline right towards the downside after this shock that we got right down there. So yeah, actually, we did end up getting some very, very highly hidden manipulation signals here within the 15-second intervals. Okay, so that is very curious for us to observe right now. So go ahead and make sure to get yourself subscribed to the ARQ indicators by reaching out to us at arqindicators@gmail.com, and we'll get you situated. This amongst other, man, look at this. Oh, this is still today. And today, oh, man. Yeah, we got slammed. This was a manipulation signal to stop the sell-off. Look at this. As soon as it started failing, huge drop. Right, of course, we get that little upside pump and then an enormous drop. This right here, this X was to stop the dumping and then just started to consolidate. Right, another manipulation signal to probably signal the upside here. Oh my goodness, this is really incredible. This is really something to observe. I'm really happy that we actually went over this here because it just shows how risky an asset could actually be, right? So yeah, lots of manipulation here, man. Oh my goodness. Right. So please be careful when trading the COSM asset, and I really mean trading here, right? Because it looks like you can get slammed up in here. But other than that, as a long hold company, I know plenty of people that believe in it for a long hold. I personally don't have a bias within that because I'm only I guess you can consider me their statistician, right? Or their data analyst. And that's about it, right? So, but yeah, very, very curious here that we're getting those signals regarding the COSM on the 15-second intervals, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the next charts to see what we have, right? So there was a resistance, a support level that we were converting into resistance here back then, August 23rd, that we used today as the closure, right? So we used it right at about 133, and this was at 133 as well. So discretionary resistance is working out pretty nicely. Knowing this too, right here, that this was the take profit target right down here from this point of the triangle, right? So the top side of the triangle here to the bottom side trend line. You take a trend line, right, and then you apply it to the bottom side here. That was suggesting a target of 108. Of course, we did reach it eventually, right? But that 108 served, the range of the 108 served as the wick low here for this 8-hour candle, perfectly to that 111. So if I hover over that candle and look at the low on the top left on the OHLC, you can see that that came down right to our support of 111 before launching to the upside. Very nice. Okay, so could this be set for a macro reversal? I'm not sure, but there are some signs that can indicate that. We're going to have to be a little patient. 2 days, 19 hours for this weekly candle to close, and it's not going to close as just whatever. It is going to be a massive bullish engulfing here. So if we do close this bullish engulfing, actually if we close the candle anywhere upside of this candle here, 119, anywhere above 119, that would mark off a pretty nice bullish engulfing and a potential reversal signal here for the COSM asset, right? So everything is looking absolutely magical. Looking at the RSI here as the final part of the analysis, we actually have just a little bit of consolidation happening here, but the 30-minute time frame is curious because it is the SMA 14 and the RSI signal here are both pivoted towards the upside and in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, right? So you have a bull weakness, bear weakness, and then you have bull strength and bear strength, right? So yeah, every time we get into those very, very close, every time we get close to those junctions, that can serve as a pretty nice gravitational zone. In fact, this is all suggesting a continuation to the upside, and I do hope it does happen as the COSM holders deserve a continuation to that upside. Now moving on to the bi-hourly time frame to back the continuation of our upside thesis is this, the RSI sitting again just like here, except in the bull strength percentile. We're sitting right within that gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile. Very likely for this to get pulled to the upside. A little bit of consolidation here on the 4-hour, but as we move into the 8-hour time frame, you can see here that we do have a very nice upside pivot and very convincing. However, I must admit that we are within a little bit of danger here that can present a potential pullback here, but I wouldn't worry about that until the music stops, right? So let's go ahead and see right over here the 12-hour time frame. Yes, a little bit of consolidation, just like this tiny pivot here within the 4-hour time frame, but we are absolutely within the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile. Very likely to get pulled to the upside, right? Similar situation here, the daily time frame in the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile. This is likely to get pulled to the upside. Look at this on the 3-day time frame, making a bullish cross. The RSI signal represented by this teal blue line, crossing upside of the SMA 14 represented by that pink line, making a nice bullish cross and an upside pivot still within it. Same situation here with the 3-day time frame. This is all indicative of a continuation to the upside, right? So if we are to face a little bit of resistance, that looks like the 5-day time frame could be responsible for that. And if I have to be honest here, if that resistance were to be faced, I think that could be a resistance consistent of $1.63. We are currently sitting at 133. Okay, team, so that is so far what I'm observing here for ticker symbol COSM. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything would be absolutely cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well a very, 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 very good night. And I will catch you at the bell. Mañana. Adios.